Hi, it's Andy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Okay, we're back. We're doing another reaction video. You guys don't know which one this is. Well, you will know once they kick in. I don't know. It's a new song by this band. It's only been out 2 days, maybe 3 days. Kirk's got a slight smile on his face because I've got a feeling he might know who this is. If he knows what I've been doing up and what I've been looking for. But let's go check out this band. Obviously, if it comes up on the screen and tells you who it is at the beginning, fair enough, because I haven't actually watched this video myself. So this is a complete reaction for all three of us, and we will share our thoughts and feelings at the end. Let's go check out the band of today.
You guys are starting to go.
Okie dokie. There we go. Can we guess what band that was?
The one
Don't need
I'm
to.
in.
Yeah, if either of
Took
you
me a
had,
minute. Took me a minute or two, but yeah, unmistakable.
as soon as the vocals kicked in, you're like, there you go.
But you couldn't see
Okay.
him, could you?
No,
Oh,
Obituary.
if the video's more well lit, I'd have instantly recognised the members.
Yeah. Let's not talk about the video. Yeah, why is every band, even all the well-known bands, are just doing this black room thing now? It's getting a little bit frustrating that half the videos that we're reacting to from modern bands, it's a band in a black room again. There we go. Anyway, that was Obituary and The Wrong Time. Go on, Kirk, you can kick this one off.
Yeah, like you, Dave, I saw the news this week that the new Obituary album has a release date in January 23. The intro to that, I was thinking, if this is a stadium rock band, because we didn't know who it was at the beginning, these are some really dark chord progressions that they're playing. You could hear an extreme metal angle to it at the beginning, but I just didn't know who it was. You're right, probably the most recognizable vocalist in death metal, John Tardy, one of the most influential, and listen to his enunciation. That agonizing pain that's in the voice, you can actually discern every word that he's saying. And if you look at that first generation of Floridian death metal bands, Chuck Schuldiner, Death, David Vincent, Morbid Angel, and John Tardy, fantastic vocalists. Another thing, Tardy appears on this year's album from Soulfly with Max Cavalera on track number 2, and he's just as devastatingly brilliant on that. I love, with Obituary, they're almost playing a hybrid of groove and death metal, aren't they? They have done ever since that 1994 album with that song I Don't Care on it. Real groove. And can you see why they toured with Prong and Black Label Society? What a bill that was. You can actually, if you put Tommy Victor's vocals from Prong in there,
right,
you're not too far away, are you? So you don't need blast beats in death metal. Obituary show that's still heavy, sludgy, dark, and those vocals they've aged so well, haven't they? And they've been ripped off so many times. So yeah, not doing anything radically different. I don't want them to. It's Obituary. I'm happy for an album of 10 songs that sound like that.
Go on then, Andy. What did you think of it?
Just echoing pretty much everything Kirk said. John Tardy's voice is unmistakable, and when you hear an Obituary album, you're getting an Obituary album, don't you? I just love that slow, plodding death metal. You don't need blast beats and it running away with you. I mean, the opening riff. So we didn't know who it was. I thought, bloody hell, that I could play that, and I'm terrible on guitar. I could pick that up and play that now. But then I've got a few Obituary songs in my repertoire. I love having a go at the old Obituary songs. But yeah, loved it. Looking forward to the new album. Big fan of Obituary from the beginning. But the video, David, you touched on it, absolutely terrible. I mean, that must cost about 10 quid to film. It's too dark. We didn't know who it was, couldn't see anything, and throughout you can't see anything. And you'd expect a band of Obituary standard to have a bit more money in the pot to do a bit more than you can't. It's a black room, empty warehouse, whatever you want to call it. I mean, the only variation on that was John Tardy looking through 2 bits of metal for a couple of seconds. Other than that, it was just, that they're not going to sort of gain any fans on people sort of coming across that video and think, oh, this looks interesting, I'll check it out. They're going to have to go on the reputation, the name, and the actual music, because the video's not going to do them any favours.
No, exactly. I would say from a video point of view, if you never heard the band Obituary, you've just come to it, let's say you're a 16-year-old, you're going to think of that as a local band that's doing one of their first videos. I think that's bit where he was doing that were maybe a couple of cabinets or a couple of monitors where he's pushing his hands, because I can see like the handle holds. So it sounds like they've done it on a soundstage somewhere. They've just blacked out a soundstage with a load of speakers and stuff like that, and they've just used whatever's around to kind of do it. For me, the video, although it was well lit and stuff like that, it was just very uninspiring. It just doesn't tell you anything about what the song's about. So yeah, kind of a throwaway video, which I don't see the point in doing. Love the vocals. We've talked a lot about it. It's unmistakable about the vocal, but I think it's unmistakable also about the guitar tone. Obituary has such a distinctive guitar tone. When that first riff kicks in, you're like, that's an Obituary guitar tone. Each metal band, like Entombed, has a very, when you listen to Entombed have a very distinctive guitar tone as well. And certain bands do, as you go through them, they have a certain pitch or they use a certain style of distortion that not many other bands do. And I found that with Obituary, it always sounds the same on each of their albums. But I felt the song was about a minute longer than it needed to be. By 3.5 minutes in, when that riff came back in there, I was like, okay, I'm sick of that riff now.
I thought it was going to end that
repetitive
point as well before that started. In David, I agree with you there as well.
It would have been the perfect time to finish. And again, the same with the solo. 2/3 of that solo was great until he started then going off and going woo 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 woo. And I was like, okay, you've just taken that solo and gone a little bit too far. Up until then, that solo was perfect for that length. And then you could have finished it, but he then just decided to do some weird bendy flourish at the end. And I was like, nah, okay, I'm not too keen on that. So, song as a whole, though, very good. But I think if I was listening to that in the van driving around, I would get to about the 3-minute mark and hit the skip. But I would get as far as the 3 minute because I'd be into it. But I just felt it just felt like it dragged on a little bit too long. It didn't add anything, that last minute of music. It didn't add anything to the track. And could have been a bit of an easier 3.5 minutes would have been a perfect length for that song. But I enjoyed it. I still enjoyed it, and I can't wait for the new album.
I just think, yeah, they probably missed an opportunity at the end to modulate it to a faster passage. Because let's not forget, when you listen to The Cause of Death and The End Complete, those records from 1990, 1992, there are some fast death metal tremolo moments on it.
Yeah.
And you probably could have ended on that. If you're saying it was too long, yeah, that might have been a better idea. Rather than to replace that slide riff, wasn't it? I mean, they're just playing fifth chords there. You're right. The guitars are, other than the solos, which are technical. Look at the fret stretches and some of the phrasing he was doing. But yeah, the riffs, like the classic songs like Chopped in Half and Words of Evil, they're all easy to play. Like guess which band I mentioned? Like Celtic Frost. And that's not a bad thing, is it? Because, like when you get into rock music and you start playing guitar, you're going to learn Come As You Are by Nirvana, aren't you? And those types of songs. The Obituary, like the metal, you can learn Obituary's riffs before you go on to Chuck Schuldiner riffs and Death and obviously Trey from Morbid Angel.
But here's the question, though. Is if this was an unsigned band we'd never heard of before and they played those riffs, would we be ripping these riffs apart right now, saying how simplistic and basic they are? And are we giving Obituary a pass on the simplistic style of these riffs because they're Obituary?
Do you want to go first on that?
I think we're giving them a pass for doing a really simplistic because it's Obituary, and we've missed Obituary, and we're so glad that they're coming back that we're like, it's Obituary, it's amazing. And I'm like, I don't know. I think they've just gone da-da-da. That's the sort of riff when you're a band and you've just started. That's the first riff you write, and you'll jump in on it, and everyone goes, "Yeah, this is amazing. This will be our first song live." So I want to see the rest of the album. I want to know if they're going to throw us something else in there, and if this was their hooky song. If this was the hook song and they've got some better riffs in there, they'll get a pass on that one. So we will do an album review of Obituary when it comes out.
It was a relief to actually hear some death metal just playing fifth chords, because so much of it now is obsessed with dissonance and really strange jazz fusion chords. And I understand that genres have to evolve, and that's just becoming more and more technical. So when you actually get something like that, that's probably in drop D, it's when you listen to Cause of Death, that's in, I think, E flat. And you still have that 90s sound to it, don't you? It's like, I don't think those guitar players have ever played a ninth chord in their life. They just don't see the need to, do they?
Well, either way, I think we all enjoyed the song. So we'll look forward to the new album, and we'll obviously pick up an album review on the channel when it comes out. Now, as always, if you like this video, please do subscribe, click the bell icon, like and share. And we will, of course, all three of us will see you on a video sometime very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.